Hi guys, it's Cathy. I hope you can hear me. I don't know why. There's no reason everything didn't work a minute ago. No reason. It was working fine, and then it just doesn't work. And it always just doesn't work at the worst times. Actually, no. It probably didn't want to work. Because my stuff knows what I'm about to play for you guys. And today is bad. I mean, do not throw things at your television. You have kids you can throw things at. You have, a wall. Don't say that. You can throw things at. Don't throw anything at your television, at your computer. Don't throw your phone. Security. Don't throw anything. Oh, you're kidding me, right? I'm scared to fix it, CJ. I'm scared if I fix it, I won't be able to get it back. So hopefully the video is not out of sync. Let's see. Tell me.
Are we ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, if we will...
And I don't have any further questions for Mr. Brigman. I'm ready to call my client.
You don't have any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, was there any redirect for Mr. Brigman?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Brigman, if you'll come back here so on the oath, please. Yeah, he's on the oath.
With respect to the payments, you said that the ones that are not reflected in the checks are shown in the bank statements that are in the booklet that they gave you, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And that's from tab 19 onwards?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, in order for the court to have proof of every single payment between the two, this needs to be an evidence.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to hand you, let's make sure, everything from tab 18 onwards. What are these?
These are Parla Parker's bank statements.
Okay, how did you get them?
That was supplied to me by her attorney's office through you.
Okay, and this was, that's what, from June?
Yes.
June 24th?
June, and the last bank statement in here is from May of 24, so nothing, I'm sorry, May of 24.
What date till May of 24?
June 20 of 2019
Okay.
to May 2024.
So based on your reading what they sent you, they're not alleging that you had missed any payments before then, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so everything you have here, plus what we've already tendered as the other exhibits, should show every single bit of payment.
Correct.
Without us spending hours going through every single one.
Correct.
Okay, so I'd like to mark this, which came right out of your notebook, as 41. I want to make sure we have a complete record.
Okay, plaintiff's exhibit 41. All right, any objection, Mr.?
No, Your
All right,
Honor.
it's admitted.
Orange for Linus.
No, just this. Oh, there's a copy for you. That's what I was asked to bring yesterday.
Okay. If you have something right there, you do.
Okay.
This is my prison outfit.
Sir, yesterday, Mr. Johnson asked you about whether or not, to prove that you got reimbursement payments. Did you bring copies of some examples and checks?
I was asked to bring copies of reimbursements and loan checks.
Okay. And so did you do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I will hand you what we'll call plaintiff's 42. Tell me what is plaintiff's 42?
These are loan checks and reimbursements for entertainment or for client reimbursements. So in my job, I'm the marketing director in corporate development, which means I go out and entertain new clients or looking at the company buying new corporations. And what I do is I go out and I either look at their facilities, take them to lunch, take them to dinner, go to after hours. I don't drink alcohol, but we do purchase alcohol.
So they say loan orders, they say reimbursement,
Their loan, so there's a loan I have, an ongoing loan to the company that they add loan balance to. And if I need money, normally it's, I come up short anywhere from $100 to a couple of $1,000s a month, depending on what I've had to pop by or pay.
Okay, so we find out more today. We found out yesterday this hearing is for him being in contempt for not paying, I think, 3 different types of bills. Alimony, child support, and this other bill that I don't know what it is. I assume, no, I'm not going to assume. I was going to say I assume it's from the businesses closing, but I don't know that, so I'm not going to say that. 3 different things. We also find out today she's here for contempt as well. And I can't remember what for, but we'll find out. And I tried to answer Fozzie's question. He asked, what am I eating? And I said, a brownie. And YouTube flagged that. I'm not allowed to say a brownie. So.
Correct.
That was the last check show, the one
No, the last page here is from Ansley, my wife, and she had to loan me $5,000 in December. That covered, it says, our house payments. And then the next check was for $20,000 because I was trying to get a home loan, and we needed to put money down on the house to get the loan refinanced so that I could pay Mr. Johnson his $88,000, 60, I can't remember what it is, 66 or 88,000. But we weren't able to now. I went back to Ansley. There's reimbursements for food, for creative, for supplies. So we went back and pulled every one we could find in the past month that he had asked for. And a few months, and this is what we came up with. There are a lot more. The ones that he had asked for.
This is what you pulled up since last night, quickly.
Correct, yeah, as fast as I could. The ones that were brought up yesterday, there was a Ruth Chris, Olympia Cafe. Those are on this month's expense report, so I won't get paid until the end of the quarter.
I'd like to send you the exhibit, Your Honor.
All right, that's 42. Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, it's admitted.
Very well. No further questions at this time, Your Honor.
All right, any recross, Mr. Johnson?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then, Mr. Johnson, you can step down, sir. Any other witnesses, Mr. Schechter?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Johnson.
Has he rested?
Are you resting?
Well, I mean, I'm reserving the right to.
But you don't have anything else to present in your case at this time?
Not at the moment.
Yeah, see, so, sir, Mr. Attorney, the way court works is you display your case in chief, and then when you're done, you rest. When you don't have no more witnesses, and you don't got no more evidence, then you rest. And you don't need to reserve your right to ask questions of any other witnesses coming up, because that's their side, and they get to, and you get to ask them questions. You don't have to reserve your right. Okay, you see all these books, sir? You should probably freaking read one of them. Any of them will probably tell you that when you're done, you can rest.
All right.
Your Honor, I have a motion.
Okay, what's your motion?
My motion is pursuant to 19.924, and that provision says that a physical custodian shall not be allowed to maintain against the legal custodian any action for divorce, alimony, child custody, change of alimony, change of custody, change of visitation rights, or any application for contempt of court, so long as the custody of the child is withheld from the legal custodian in violation of the custody order. And again, that's 19.924. Mr. Brigman has acknowledged that the court's order, second supplemental final order on petition to modify custody, is the governing order. There has been no modification of it. He has withheld custody of Cole for all of this time, since July. Therefore, he cannot maintain candidly, the petition to change custody. My client's agreeing to it because she doesn't really feel like she has any choice. But with regard to his motion for contempt, he is barred from filing a motion for contempt against my client so long as he withholds custody in violation of the custody order, which he is doing. So I would move to dismiss Mr. Brigman's Mr. Brigman's motion for contempt.
All right, Mr. Shelton.
Your Honor, I'm just getting this motion, or hearing it right now. I need some time to look at what Mr. Johnson just raised.
And your primary contentions were what? That she was not
Yeah, but
communicating?
that preceded any custody change or the child staying with him. That
so
preceded.
much.
That was before that. That was
appreciate it.
alienation
Thank
and saying things to the child when she had Cole. So if he's saying that, I need to check and see, does that mean you can never bring it? What does that mean? Just the period where you don't have custody? I need to be able to look at that and see. I don't know that that's the case. I don't know. I don't think contempts just go away. And if you're in contempt for the period.
All right, you have until the end of the week to respond in writing. In the meantime, so I'll take your motion to dismiss the plaintiff's contempt action under advisement. Mr. Johnson, is there anything you wish to present?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm going to call my client. Are these ready? Okay. Okay. All right, go on up there and be sworn in, okay?
I do.
Go ahead and state your name for the record, please.
Parla Parker.
Ms. Parker, obviously you're the mother of Cole and Parker.
Yes, sir.
How are you employed?
Chatham County Tax Commissioner
How long have you been there?
since November of 2024.
Where were you before that?
Chatham County Sheriff's Office.
Why did you move from one to the other?
Up. Okay. Hi, Walter. Okay, listen, I can't explain what she's about to say because I can't wrap my head around it. But once she gets past this next part, she gets more normal. Just so you know. I don't understand.
During the re-election campaign, Mr. Brigman put forth a tremendous amount of effort to support the opposition. And
So Sheriff Coleman versus Sheriff Wiltshire.
correct,
And you had been working for Sheriff Wiltshire.
correct.
Okay. And go ahead, carry on.
Based on the friendship that I saw developing, and things that were told to me and what I was seeing in based on my experience in the past, I was not comfortable staying in that environment.
Okay.
And now my children and Mr. Brigman are helping Sheriff Coleman do part of the job that I used to do.
I'm gonna object, Your Honor, unless she has personal knowledge. I don't know
I
how
do.
she could possibly be.
Yes, sir. The graphics on the vehicle.
Okay, one at a time. When the attorney's speaking, let them finish. Overall, she can testify. Go ahead, she.
The graphics on the Sheriff's Office vehicles, Parker and Cole removed they're in the process of removing Sheriff Wiltshire's name and replacing it with Sheriff Coleman's name.
Your Honor, I'm gonna still object. I don't know how you could base that on someone removing something from a car. Anybody can support whoever they want.
Overruled.
All right. Let's look at your financial affidavit and talk about your income. Her financial.
Of what?
Her financial affidavit.
I'm sure I have a copy of it, but if you have one.
Sure, I have one. Show you defendants 10. Is that your financial affidavit?
Yes, sir.
And your income is $56.79 per month, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And show you defendants 11. Is that your W-2 from last year, 2024?
Yes, sir.
show you 13. Here's your most recent pay stub.
It is.
Move to admit 10, 11, and 12.
No objection.
All right, they're admitted.
All right, looking at your financial affidavit, there's been an allegation that you have all these other sources of income, $1,000 a month for horseback riding and all these things. First of all, who is Kimberly Hart? We saw some charges to her.
Yes.
Monies from her.
So she's a former coworker. She worked contract for the sheriff's office, and she asked me to do an octopus mural for her. I do sell some of my artwork to cover my expenses of art, which I've disclosed before, and I really basically break even. I mean, yes, over that time period, she paid me $3,000, and the amount of time and the materials, I'm actually still not finished with it. It's something that I do that's therapeutic and I enjoy. I take classes at the Cultural Arts Center. It helps cover the cost of that, and
No, I'm not looking away.
it helps me develop personally and professionally.
Did Mr. Prigman make this argument at the time of the divorce?
Correct, yes,
Did he make this argument at the time of the change of custody?
yes,
Okay, so this is the third time that he's tried to make this argument.
correct.
All right. This defendant's, plaintiff's 29. This is some photos that Mr.
Correct.
Prigman put into evidence. Purporting to be your paintings at a shop. The first page there, whose paintings are those?
Rachel Davies,
And how do you know?
her signature. These are her note cards.
Okay, so it's right there on the painting itself, not your signature, hers.
Correct.
Okay. Now, next page. Are there some of yours mixed in there?
Correct, yes.
And how many of yours are there?
Usually we do like half and half. I mean, we don't produce enough. We both work full time, but we felt like, I don't know, I think it was like $85 a month or $80 or $100 a month between the two of us. For each of us to have the booth. And we just felt like, since we worked in the commercial industry of communication and marketing and branding, then we both went to art school to SCAD, that it's just good to actually do something. And this was like kind of put a motivator to it. And we enjoyed doing it together. And
Sell a lot of paintings?
no, I mean, enough to cover the cost of it. I'll probably make, anywhere from $1,200 to $200 or $300 profit a year.
All right. We know that thing.
I just simply don't have the time I would love to do it full time, trust me.
She makes somewhere between $1,200 to $200 and $300 a year profit. $1,200 to $200 or $300.
I absolutely would.
All right. And what about this idea that you are getting $1,000 a month for horseback riding lessons?
I would love to get $1,000 a month for horseback riding lessons. I volunteer with Pegasus Riding Academy. They're a therapeutic riding academy that helps special needs children and adults. I've worked with them over the years. They're a good organization. There was a young lady there. She is in high school and she wanted to learn how to ride. So for a few months, her parents paid me $60 and I gave her riding lessons until she developed past my point. And now she and I both take riding lessons 2 or 3 times a month out in Guyton together.
So no $1,000 a month coming in from riding lessons.
No, sir, I currently do not have, I'm not
I'm so
getting
sorry.
paid to teach anyone riding lessons. I haven't since we started riding with Shannon Dunlap. It's probably been at least 6 or 7 months, but it was just Caroline. She has a heart condition and it helped with their anxiety, and riding is therapeutic for me, so.
Okay. All right. And I'm just kind of going through and hitting some of these things that Mr. Brigman has an issue of. He accused you yesterday of stealing ammo from the sheriff's department and then taking that stolen ammo to Camden Military School and bribing them not to talk to Mr. Brigman.
He did say
Let's
that.
start with, did you steal ammo from the sheriff's department?
No.
Okay. Did you take ammo to Camden Military School?
Yes, I took a couple boxes of ammo for a Christmas present. I took paintings, some ammo. They're starting a shooting team. Cole's very much into shooting. It's just something that we've always done. We've discussed that throughout the course of this process. Just what we do, and I didn't think twice about it.
Okay. Where did the ammo come from?
My dad reloads.
Your dad's a former Marine, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have ammo. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. We shoot a lot. I shot a couple weeks ago. I mean, I've got, I don't know. I mean, it's just, I've really never, always had ammo.
And no bribery of Camden. Let's talk for a minute about Camden. First of all,
That happens a
Cole was
couple
doing well
times.
there. He had 3.38.
Yes.
And that's a B average, is that right? Contrary to what Mr. Brigman says.
To my knowledge, it is.
Okay. And the records are in evidence. So let's talk about the choice to go to Camden and how that choice was made in discussions you had with Mr. Brigman.
Cole has ADHD. He struggled with that. And throughout the course of this process, it's been very challenging. Cole had attention issues in school. And yes, he got kicked out. It was not for being bad. He didn't fight. He simply has focus issues. So it's, tap, 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 Cole, stop. Cole, stop. Cole, stop. And so it becomes aggravating, and Cole would get frustrated. Teachers would get frustrated, and there was this back and forth. We discussed a lot of this in the child custody. He was on medication. That's always been a back and forth discussion between Mr. Brigman and myself. There are times he has advocated for medication. There are times he's been completely against medication. I go with what the doctor says. I follow the guidance of the pediatrician. Leading up to Camden, it was Cole's idea. He was very proud to go there. I did what I could to support it.
How much did Camden cost?
$35,000 for 1 year, and you had to pay half up front for the deposit and then the monthly payment.
Who paid this?
My father paid the deposit and the payments, and then I did everything I could to pay him what I could every month.
Did Mr. Brigman help with that at all?
No, sir. He was still paying some of the child support that he had determined based on everything he said yesterday.
Okay. Paying whatever he decided was the appropriate amount.
Correct.
Okay. Now, in terms of Cole's leaving Camden, well, let's not go there yet. Tell us about Mr. Brigman's access to Cole while he was at Camden, and compare and contrast that with your access to Cole.
Camden is a very strict, traditional military school, all boys. The environment that they have is conducive to Cole's learning style. He was on 40 milligrams of Adderall Monday through Friday. It was impacting his blood pressure. Both pediatrician and I definitely wanted him off of it. We discussed it. She recommended that while he was at Camden, he get it checked. Through that very disciplined environment, he was able to come off of it and learn how to learn in an environment that is small classroom size. Every teacher was trained for any sort of special needs or learning over the years, all communication with Mr. Brigman has been challenging, which has been proven over and over and over. It's exhausting. I was just tired. And so just wanted to do the best that I could do. I certainly did not want to ship my son away. But all these years really take a toll on everyone. So I just simply did the best that I could do. And he asked for it. I felt like we had no other option. And so I just did everything that I could. Thank you.
Did you discuss it with Mr. Brigman prior to sending it?
There were discussions about the open house and the options. Our patterns of communication have never been successful. And so I always felt that everything was a bargaining chip. Everything was a bargaining tool. Everything had to be negotiated. And so I don't remember exactly how everything went. Obviously, there are text messages and family, our family wizard. There was an open house that was supposed to be here in Savannah. Mr. Brigman told me that if he joined us, we could go. Cole was with him that weekend, and he said that he would not be taking him on his time unless we all went together. So I just didn't want to be in a space with Bradley. I just don't want to be in a space with Bradley. And so therefore, I just stopped talking about it.
It's okay. They realize there's a problem and they're trying to fix it. There, I think it was my problem, so I tried to fix it. And then they shut the stream off. There we go.
19924, actions by physical or legal custodian not permitted in certain instances. There's A and B. One of them deals with the physical custodian, one deals with the legal custodian. They're basically mirrors of each other. And it says a legal custodian should not be allowed to maintain any action for divorce, alimony, child custody, change of alimony, change of child custody, or change of visitation rights, or any application for contempt of court, so long as visitation rights are withheld in violation of the custody order. So, first, I would say that the contempts that we filed had to do with, well, everyone had the child that they were supposed to have. Cole was really an issue. The contempts were prior to anything happening where Cole was staying with my client. However, to go a little bit further, because what the statute actually says, there's a case that deals with it called Dallow. Let me find it right here. Dallow v. Dallow, which is a Supreme Court case, September 12, 2016, 299 Georgia 762. And I think this is very informative for based on what's happened and what Mr. Johnson says. And in there, it says, the court, when it's reasoning one of the father's arguments, it says, in his brief to this court, the father asserts that the trial court found that the mother had withheld, quote, withheld visitation, referring to the court's February 12th and July 1st, 2015 contempt orders. That is not true. In its February 12th contempt order, the trial court specifically declined to find the mother violated the divorce decree with respect to the father's visitation with JD. And in its July 1st contempt order, the court found that mother violated the divorce decree by interfering with father's visitation on a few occasions, not that she was withholding visitation from him altogether. Your Honor, the evidence is very clear.
Just so you know, he's not talking about her interfering. He's talking about a completely other case. for some reason.
Clear. The child went and stayed at his house. He contacted her regularly. He never said you can't have the child. He didn't withhold the child. She's seen the child regularly. In fact, she gets together with him pretty regularly. If you had the child in here, you'd hear that. You can hear that from her. She speaks to and sees Cole regularly. My client's never taken custody of the child. The child was with him, and he clearly wrote, we went through our family wizard messages, and it says, I'm not sure what to do here. And she's sitting there saying, well, you take the insurance. If you're keeping him, I'm staying by the court order. But she doesn't say, give me the child back or anything like that. My client doesn't know what to do. He's not kicking the child on the street. Nobody is withheld. And again, the court makes it very clear, interfering, if it was interference, which I would say it's not, he's just not letting his child go live in the street when she's not saying, Cole, come home, stay with me. If that had happened, that's where the child would be. But he is definitely not withholding visitation. So it was a nice try, but I do not think that that's the purpose of this. I think the whole idea was to prevent unclean hands. That actually says that in some of the citations I saw, that you're not supposed to come in and have custody and then say the same, basically the other person's in contempt while you are guilty of unclean hands on that very subject matter. But that's not what's happening here, Your Honor. And again, what we said, the contempts, her alienating and telling the children these horrible things was when she had Cole and when he had Parker, pursuant to the court's custody order. So
I understand your argument.
thank you.
All right, thank you.
Can I respond briefly?
Sure.
We're traveling under 19924A. He has made himself a physical custodian. That means who has the child shall not be allowed to maintain. Okay, so he cannot maintain a case for so long as custody is withheld from the child. And he has withheld custody. He has usurped custody. He still has custody, and it is contrary to the court's order. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay, thank you. All right, I've taken it under, all right, got
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
All right. So in terms of Camden, was what we were talking about before. You told us why you wanted Cole to go there. You talked about discussions you had with Mr. Brinkman. Clearly, he was aware based on the family wizard conversations that he put into evidence. Once Cole got there, tell us about what access the parents have.
So the way they are structured, it's a military school. They don't do an online portal. The grades are the responsibility of the child. It's very different than it is here in Chatham County. That school environment structure, Cole was very proud. He did very well. My perspective is very different than what Mr. Brinkman explained yesterday. So I wanted Cole to have his space, his own space. I wanted both my children to have their own space, to be at peace. It's chaos, and I can't navigate the chaos. If I go left, I should have gone right. If I go right, I should have gone left. It's this continuous Monday morning quarterbacking of my parenting, and the back and forth and me trying to follow the order. As soon as we get an agreement in place, he mentioned yesterday that we agreed to 50-50. We agreed to all these things. None of the agreements ever stayed in place. As soon as an order was put in, he's requesting to change it. There's proof of that in the court. There's proof of that through the messages. It's constant change. And so I did everything I could to support Cole in going to Camden.
Okay, but tell me, so he's complained that he's up there locked away in Camden and he can't see him. So tell us what access the parents have once he is there.
So for the first 2 weeks, there's no access. There's no cell phones. They're very strict on the cell phone use. So for 2 weeks, they learn to adjust to life without a cell phone. Then their barracks, the person that is in charge of their barracks, after the 2 weeks is up, Cole called me. I said, what was the best part of it? He said, the best part was not having my cell phone. I said, what was the hardest part of it? Not having my cell phone. He's like, but I understand.
Object to the hearsay.
All right, I allowed some of it yesterday, so overruled.
Thank you.
So, adjusted to a different way of learning, and it worked. He learned how to work in an environment that was a smaller space, a quiet space. Cell phones were only allowed during certain times of the day. And yes, the parents were very restricted. They had furloughs. You could go to parades. You could get permission. The communication with Mr. Brigman is always so challenging. I always feel like every question is posed as something. And so I just took the opportunity to have some peace. Especially after the last few years leading up to that, it was just so hard. And so when he would come home, no, there was no supervisor. And I didn't interfere. There's no response to a lot of the messages because it just didn't matter, especially when Cole started driving, because he was a resident at Camden Military School. He spent the night there. He acquired a South Carolina driver's permit through the state of South Carolina through their driving school. He got his
15, right?
correct.
Okay.
Their laws are different, so it's very restricted, but it's like a step program. They give him a little bit of access at a time, so he could drive during daylight hours on his own after having his learner's permit for 6 months. He also got scuba diver certified while he was there. His grades were good. He was working out each day. He decided to do clean eating. He was playing lacrosse. And I just let him have his space and just enjoy the peace. And when he came home, he was driving. He did with his dad whatever they did. And I never heard anything else about the supervisor. Lakeisha Dean, yeah, I was real reluctant. She was a tenant of his at the time in the state drug testing building. But how can you just stay in this forever? You can't. It's not sustainable. It's been a decade, and that doesn't count why I got divorced to begin with. So I had to do it differently. Any engagement with myself of Mr. Brigman leads to all of this.
So he's put in front of you all, in front of the court, all these Our Family Wizard messages that he sent you that you replied to occasionally, but not every single one.
Correct. And he mentioned that a lot of them are not viewed. And so a lot of times when it would come up on my phone, I could see it, the context in the preview without opening it. And I just let it go because everything is my responsibility. Everything.
So he also said that he sent you, as he incurs them, he sends you the expenses that he wants you to reimburse. The insinuation that you've not been paying your fair share of your children's expenses. Does he send you expenses?
He does through Family Wizard.
What number is it?
Exhibit number 32.
You've got defendants exhibit 32 there.
Yeah, so I just took a random selection.
Talk us
Printed
through
them out.
Tell us what this is.
So these are expenses generated by Mr. Brigman. In the past, when I requested, where's the receipt? Where is it stated that this is in our agreement for me to pay it? I got a very negative response. I don't want to engage anymore. I just don't. I can't. I'm exhausted emotionally. I'm exhausted financially. And he is going to do what he wants to do regardless. It just doesn't matter. And he'll send me messages saying, Judge Colbert knows where Cole is.
We're going to talk about that in a second. Yeah.
And so it's just, it's overwhelming, just as it always is. Do what you want to do. It's your responsibility.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the expenses that he sent you. School tuition. Was he responsible for school tuition in the court?
So in the originally, yes, he was. However, Judge Karp, he wouldn't pay the school tuition, and it created a lot of chaos. And the boys weren't enrolled. We had to have a hearing, and then the boys got enrolled at school. So when the final order was written, we asked that child support include tuition, so that would be my responsibility to pay. So it would just get paid, and they would be enrolled. So, I mean, it says receipt file, none able to request. I don't want to request it.
Okay, so you're getting just random dollar amounts that he's asking you to pay.
Yes, yes. But there's no agreement. Like, we have the child order support or the orders in place. We spend an exhaustive amount of time and exhaustive amount of discussion, an exhaustive amount of energy and money on this and emotion. We come to an agreement, and then it immediately, it's got to be changed. It's got to be changed, or some emergency situation comes up. And so we already had an agreement in place. Just follow that. We agreed to it. Yes.
I agree with her. Don't worry, the other attorney's going to come up in this agreement. You'll see. You'll see. So I have a huge problem, guys. Fozzie bought Anthony iced coffee, 2 bacon, egg, and cheese bagels, 2, and a dozen donuts. I think. I haven't. They have a lot of tape on, so the DoorDash driver can't mess with your stuff. But the problem is a whole bunch of things. Oh my God. Look. The problem is a whole bunch of things. First off, you've heard my son before. He's very active and loud. I'm not giving him coffee. No. The second problem is my son hates eggs, like Donald. Hates eggs. I'm not giving him this. No. The third problem is I made a delicious dinner last night, and he ate almost an entire crock pot himself. And the fourth problem is he's asleep. He's not even awake. So to help him out, I will eat all of this myself. All of it. Every bite. And he gets none. And you want to know why? Because I've told everybody it's trash tonight. I said it at least 16 times to every single person I live with. As soon as I got home from work, I myself took a trash can out. So it's only half trash tonight, because I've already done the hard part. And the trash is still here, and it's 5:21 a.m., and the trash truck can come at any time right now, and the trash still is not out. So it's all mine. All mine, Fozzie. I'm not giving Anthony nothing. You should have sent it to Anthony. Never trust me. Never, never.
We have the orders.
Fozzie.
Just do that. But it's never worked.
Okay. Other expenses, food, clothes, living expenses. He just sends you a bill for $250. No receipts, no nothing. Just expects you to pay him.
No. And in the past, when I've requested receipts, I receive very negative responses.
And there's just dozens of clothes and living expenses that he claims that you owe him.
Correct.
Okay. When he's showing the court this thing where supposedly you owe him $3,000, this is what we're talking about.
Correct.
Okay.
And then his determination of what the child support should be based on his interpretation of the order. But I just don't want to engage in it.
All right. So we were coming to court last time, the middle of June. I think it was June 13th, if I remember right. You saw that, and it was a
Well, June 16th was Father's Day. We were supposed to come to court on that Thursday and Friday. The 16th was Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So like the 20th and 21st or something, whatever that Thursday and Friday was.
okay. Look at the creation date on all of these. So all of these were sent to you. So the first, let's see, the first 33 pages were sent to you on 6/12/24. Is that right?
Yes, he did send a group of, like he just started, I just started receiving all these notifications for expenses leading up to court, yes.
So when we look at expense history created, 6/12/24, there's 33 pages of expenses he sent you right before court.
Correct.
So you just get bombarded with these things.
Yes, and I have PTSD from this. It's very triggering, and it's so consuming that I just don't want to engage in it. It's not healthy. So the boys are old enough now, hence why I made the exceptionally painful decision to just let Parker go and let Cole go, because I just don't, if I remove myself, at least some of, hopefully, the chaos will stop, because over time, it's gone from minute by minute text messages through now, weeks, a few weeks go by without me receiving these correspondences that just throw me through the day.
Any objection?
Summary of, no objection.
All right, admit it.
I'm sorry, 32. I'm sorry.
32 is admitted.
All right. Now, we heard Mr. Brickman say, falsely, as he admitted, that he got to see Cole for 20 minutes over last spring break. Is that true?
No, I just stopped engaging. I just let them do what they wanted to do. But when Cole was with him, he would message me through Family Wizard saying that I'm not allowing him to see Cole. What am I supposed to do? I don't want to do this anymore. I cannot do this anymore. It's not fair. It's not right for anyone. If he chooses to do it, just do it without me.
So did he have Cole for most of spring break?
He had Cole for at least a half of spring break. I mean, Cole came and went as he wanted because there was all this contention created
love coffee, iced or hot.
by what Cole was saying to me, Bradley was saying to me, and Cole's like, I'm at school, and I'm like, listen, do what you need to do. I'm not engaging in this. I'm just not. If something is wrong, if it's an emergency, I will help you. If I get a call that is an emergency, I will absolutely engage. But outside of that, I've chosen to just take this time to heal and try to move forward. And he mentioned me not having a relationship with Parker. I'm not going to go back into everything we went through leading up to the child custody hearing. But, it is way more complex. We had a team of therapists that testified. We've already had this testimony. I don't need to sit here and rehash it all. But I love my children. Sometimes love is not enough, especially in this developmental stage of their lives. And that is okay, because I know how I feel about my children, and I do the best that I can do, and I will always continue to do so.
Let's see. Were you able to see your kids for Thanksgiving and Christmas?
No.
It's hard being a parent. It's hard.
I got some confusing messages, and so I told Cole, I said, look, I'm not going to do Christmas presents this year. I'm going to get a cabin. Here's where it is. Here's what we're going to do. We'll just have an experience. And if you'd like to come, you are always more than welcome. If you do not, that is okay too. I told my parents, here's where I will be. You can join me if you come, pay for food. I got the cabin. I don't know if Cole's coming or not. I received messages from Mr. Brigman leading up to Thanksgiving, Christmas, and I just let it go.
You've heard Mr. Brigman testify that you've told the children all these horrible things about him, that he would murdered people, that he raped people, that he did this, that he did that. Have you been telling them these things?
No, sir.
I was the one
Let's
telling them
talk
that. Sorry, my
about
bad.
The Our Family Wizard messages. Show you this 22, and we just took a selection rather than going through all of them. And I don't want to go through these one by one, but if you could just tell the court why it is that you picked these, I don't know, 15 or so messages.
I'm working on taxes. I was going to claim Parker and Cole for 2024 and 2025 and wanted to make sure that he was okay, make sure that was okay with you before I did so. Please let me know your thoughts. So when I received these messages, and we have an order in place. You can either follow it or not. Do what you want to do. I'm not going to begin this argument or conversation. I just don't respond anymore. I've done it for years and it hasn't worked.
That she's screwed. She really is screwed if she answers that question. He's asking if he should claim Cole. It's in the court order he gets to claim Cole. So, of course, he should claim Cole. But she's screwed if she answers that question. Because I think the court order also says, which to me sounds really contradicting, that the other parent, the parent who doesn't have custody, gets to claim the children. So if she answers that question, he's going to turn it on her with the other kid. Or he's going to be upset about Cole. It doesn't matter what she does here. And you're going to see why when the other attorney goes up and asks her about this same thing. Yes.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So I'm just doing it differently.
There's a bit about the cruise here that we had to have to accomplish with the
Yeah, Cole asked me to reach out to you about our summer vacation in June. We would like for him to join us June 28th to July 8th. We'll be on a cruise. Ansley Parker, Tess Jackson, and Natalie Ansley, little sister. If you have any questions, please let me know. Do you think he can join us? Thanks for considering this. Why are you asking me this? We just finished. We just barely made it through getting an order agreement in place. And you're not following it anyway. I don't know. I don't know. And it's just so much pressure. And I have Cole. He wants to go on this cruise. You're not letting me do this. It's your fault. You're withholding me from going on these cruises with my dad. I'm like,
This is when his dad has supervised visitation.
correct.
Okay.
And the order we got the order in place. It takes a long time. We spend a long time in court, and then we spend a long time waiting, and then we get the order, and then not long after, the modifications begin. The different supervisors change. I'm preventing all these things. No, I approved her. I thought it was weird. I didn't. Just because I don't agree with it or don't like it, I can't control it. If there is one thing I have learned, I cannot control the situation. So the answer, it's already answered. It's asked and answered, but the sheriff went into the hospital on June 16th.
Your Honor, I'm going to just object to the relevance of all of this. We're spending a lot of time going down rabbit holes and even misstating the orders, which I've got a problem with.
The other lawyer's laughing at him.
So we were leading into court, and it was a very challenging situation because the sheriff, as we knew, it was dying, and I was responsible for all the communication surrounding that. And so it was a very intense and stressful time for me. And he wants to know about this cruise. And I'm just like, ask the judge. We just finished getting this modification. I don't know. I don't know. And so then it was a negotiation because I'm like, I really need this. I don't know if the sheriff is going to live or die. And everybody's looking at me to tell them. So I really need to postpone this court date. And so the deal was laid on the table that if I agreed to allow Cole to go on the cruise, that he would agree to postpone the case. And I'm like, I'm not going to be put in that position. I'm supposed to now choose between my child and my boss. Like that's of course I'm going to put my child first, but what does a cruise have to do with anything? They go on so many cruises. The cruise situation has been always, it's a consistent issue since the beginning.
Let's keep moving on. We talked about there was another plan to go to Great Wolf Lodge and Thanksgiving. There was a question about Cole's car, and I want you to look at message 1 on page 8-6 of 24.
Is that the date?
8-6 of 24.
Okay, yes.
All right. And we marked this one in particular. You mentioned earlier that he's indicating to you that the judge knows what's going on.
Yes, correct.
So, and there's a whole lot leading up to it, but
yeah, it says, as the judge knows where Cole is and why he is at my house, I do not feel we are in the wrong. The judge asked our attorneys to figure things out, and Paul has not replied to anything we have sent to him, nor returned David's calls. Cole is not happy with my either, as he doesn't understand why I can buy him a truck, put insurance on it, and without him know I'm still supposed to continue paying you $2,100 a month while you pay for nothing. I'm sure you can see how that makes no sense.
we don't need to go through the whole thing. I just wanted to get that one bit, and the court can read all the context. But is this another thing where he tries to tell you
I'm bombarded. So Cole's 16th birthday was on July 21st. I have no clue. He spent most of the weekend with his dad. He's driving. I'm not fighting the custody anymore. And they're too old now. So I have no clue that anything is wrong. We celebrate Cole's birthday, comes home from his dad's that evening. I think went like either Thursday or Friday. And we have dinner. My parents are there. Everything is great. It's fine. I made him, the meal he requested, steak and some crab, shrimp, whatever. We go to bed. I get up the next morning and I get an email and I open it up and it is this letter from my son explaining what a horrible human being I am.
And this is the so-called election that you.
This is the election.
You got that from my
Correct.
office.
Correct. It blindsided me, and it was crushing. And so I just asked Claude,
My
like, did
pleasure.
you write this? And he became very defensive, and I'm like, okay. You know, if I'm this person, I wouldn't want to live with me either.
But those things in his affidavit are false.
Yes.
You're nowhere else to.
So,
Thank you.
and you know, obviously, this is all from my perspective, but I live this every day of my life. And so I was just crushed. I mean, I was so hurt. I just did not see it coming. And he said, Mom, you know, nothing, this changes nothing. And I'm like, it does. I mean, like, you're asking to live there, but it's okay now. Like, it just had to be okay. It just has to be okay. So just do what it is that you need to do, because I'm not going to stay in conflict anymore. And so I see him occasionally, calls him mama's boy. You know, has a very different personality than Parker. And it just, I was very, very hurt. And it created a tremendous amount of hurt. And the next day, he went to his dad's, and I just didn't engage anymore because I knew, oh, what am I going to say? You know, it's just going to make it worse. And I'm not engaging with Bradley what am I going to argue? That I did or didn't say that he murdered somebody? That I did or didn't say that he raped a woman? Okay. I mean, how do you prove any of that? And yeah, you know, the kids can testify or what, I mean, do what you need to do. Like when Parker accused me of physically abusing him, I said, DFACS can investigate it. And they did.
And nothing again.
No, but I want my children to have the help that they need. I want the best for them. So whatever that is, Bradley says that they're doing better at his house than they have ever done in their entire lives. Great. I just want the best for them.
Oh no, guys. Guys. It's almost time. I don't want to watch this again. I just want to get on the stand and save her from this attorney that's about to get up. I want to cut my stream right now. I don't want to give him the chance to talk to her ever again. The other attorney's about to come up soon, guys. And we can't protect her. We want to protect her. Well, I know. Some of you guys in chat do not want to protect her. I know. She's the bitch. I know. But here we go. I mean, it's coming. It's just, it gets...
Others in here, some of these have already been put into evidence, but these you feel are indicative of the sort of bombardment you get from him.
And the threats. You know, Judge Colbert knows she's on our side. You know, I'm okay.
Move to admit 22.
Any objection?
To the messages themselves?
All right, admit it.
All right. So we heard over and over again about how you had told him to get away, texted him to get away from your fucking truck, and then you went in and you deleted messages, and then he told us that he doesn't have these texts, so we can't pull up the text because you don't have the same. Did you print the before and after conversation regarding the truck?
Yes.
No,
And we tried
Fozzie.
to print this
Look.
morning, unfortunately, we're not going to get
It has cream in it.
to work on this, but when is the last time that Mr. Brayman sent you a text on this number?
February 12th.
Okay.
regarding the trip to Vegas, asking if I wanted Cole to stay at my house.
So the idea that you've changed your number and he doesn't have the text messages anymore, you've got the same number you've had for as long as I've been here.
That is my personal phone number, 912-604-7563.
And I know you've had it at least a decade because I've been calling.
I didn't know.
So this is the full text conversation about the truck, and you haven't altered it in any way, correct?
Correct.
All right, move to amendment 31.
Any objection?
Hold on a second.
I'm sorry, I can't understand you.
I'm asking to hold on a second because what I'm looking at right here. This one. I don't have anything with a phone number on it or anything that authenticates this, and that's a problem. Specifically, since the beginning of them, he predate even our.
Okay, hold on. Mr. Johnson?
Did these come from Mr. Brigman?
To my knowledge, yes. It came from his cell phone number.
Okay, and these are all things that you've received from him over time?
Correct.
All right.
And he states in some of the message, I think, he states, due to you not reading messages on Family Wizard, send due to you not reviewing your Wizard app messages since May 8th. So I don't know who else would send me that. And then if you look at the screenshot, it's of our Family Wizard.
I'm going to object to her not knowing who else would send it. Still doesn't prove that something that she said.
Overruled, admitted. And that's number what?
That's number 31.
31's admitted over objection.
All right.
But Judge, it wasn't
Let's
me.
talk about the money. You were handed
The
a bunch
money.
of checks.
Correct.
Show you 17. And this is the best you could do on short notice. You were handed a bunch of checks yesterday.
Yes.
And you went in last night. And spent.
And Your Honor, I'm going to have to object to this and to have to ask for more time on this. We were given a brand new
Has
sheet.
he tendered it yet? Give me, let me hear what the foundation is, and then I'll hear any objection.
Go ahead.
All right. So you went through.
Donald, you don't even know. Just wait. He has a tantrum. He has repeated tantrums starting right now.
Your sheet that they've had since June,
Correct.
and you took the checks that they gave us yesterday,
Correct.
and then you went through and checked each against your assessment.
Correct.
All right, and tell us what you found.
I made 3 mistakes, and I had the bank records correct, but the spreadsheet was not correct. So I missed. I did not put 3 months into the spreadsheet to reflect my bank records that were presented.
Okay,
So
corrected.
this is the exact same spreadsheet, except I corrected it, highlighted it, and noted it to you.
Okay, so the 3 changes are highlighted,
Correct.
and those are ones where you said you missed a couple of.
I missed 3 checks, yes, 2022 and 2021, I think. January.
August of 2022, September of 2022, and January of 23.
Yes.
You missed a $2,100 check for each of those.
On the spreadsheet, but they're in my bank records. And then I took the checks that they provided yesterday and aligned them with each bank record to correctly reflect everything.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And so this, and by the way, do you have a secret bank account you're depositing checks into?
No, the checks that they provided yesterday, I matched with the bank accounts provided. So where the confusion came in was the order states that the Low Country repayment is to be paid on the 1st of each month, and child support would be divided on the 1st and 15th of each month. Mr. Schachter had written a letter requesting that accommodation when we first, back in 2018, and we agreed. So over time, so Mr. Brigman skipped a couple of payments beginning Low Country, which it was credited because he was given half of my 401k. And so maybe he didn't understand when it was supposed to start. Regardless, the checks tend to come later and later in the month for Low Country drug screening. So you can see where even though the check is dated for a particular month, just say, for argument's sake, January, if it's dated January 31st, and it is mailed and then postmarked, I'm not going to receive it to February. So there are some months skipped by kind of moving it forward throughout the month.
Skipped by him,
Well, Gene Simmons is who the check comes from,
his mother.
but he's responsible for it.
So his mother's.
Correct. Well, according to the check, I mean, I don't know how their money transactions go, but so I brought examples of checks. When I receive the check and I deposit it, I enter the date that it's posted. But every check, as they proved by bringing these canceled checks, every check is reflected on my Bank of America statements that I provided. So if there are blank months on some, you can look at the date that it was written on the check.
I wish she would have finished her thought without anybody interrupting her, because what she was trying to say is he keeps sending the check a little later, a little later, a little later, and if you keep doing that, you're going to eventually skip a month, even though you don't go 30 days in between. You don't skip 30 whole days. But if you start sending a check, like you pay on the 15th of every month, and then all of a sudden you start paying on the 18th, and then the 19th, and then soon you're paying on the 1st of the next month, you skip a month. This has been going on for 10 years. So he has been paying a little later each time and then skips months because of that.
And the date that it was deposited, I mean, if it's written at the end of the month, you can't, right, I mean, and you mail the check in the mail, it's going to take probably till the next month to get there. So I don't.
So, and Mr. Shacker can cross-examine you all day if he wants to on this, all your information there. But defense number 17, does this accurately reflect all of the checks that you have received from Mr. Brady since the final judgment? Actually, since the temporary.
Correct.
Okay. And Your Honor, I think the court said that it is taking judicial notice of the orders in this case, or is it also taking judicial notice of the orders in the divorce case? I have all
Yes,
of
the
them.
one has already been, yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I've got them
I
all.
was asked, yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So, all right, I'm not going to put them in the record.
That's fine, I have enough paper, thank you.
Thank you. All right, and so let's go through each of these. On the alimony, what is due and owing to the alimony?
Alimony should be paid in full.
Donald, we always
Sorry, I
come
can't hear you
together.
Apologies. Let's see, alimony.
And so,
Thank
Your
you,
Honor,
Donald.
again, I'm going to have to object to going into this, which they're going through right now on the record. It was provided to me this morning. It contradicts.
This is her testimony, so.
But they're literally testifying off of it.
Okay, Mr. Schechter, you can cross-examine off of it, but she can testify off of that, that's fine.
It's not an issue that I literally got a whole new thing today with whole new calculations.
Is that was the three changes that were made? Okay,
I'm looking
overruled.
through it and I see different numbers
Okay,
throughout.
you can ask her about that on cross.
Okay, I
Overruled.
just want to make this for the record.
It's made.
All right,
Okay, if you pick up one of these books, sir, you're going to find out that after he's done asking questions and giving his evidence, you get to ask questions too. You get to ask her questions to see if it makes sense. I know. It's something new lawyers do. But if you would have picked up one of these books, any of them, they would have told you that. You can question her next.
I see a $6,000 alimony.
You even reserved the right to before you never rested, remember?
Correct.
Okay, so 6,000 is owed on alimony, is that correct?
Correct.
6,000 what? What was your question?
6,000 is owed for alimony.
Okay.
Your Honor, again, we've just gone through this. She just said he's paid all the alimony, so I don't know how we're testifying about missed alimony.
Well, you
when
can ask her about that, Mr. Schechter. That's why we have a hearing.
Yeah, but I'm looking at sheets for the
Okay, I
first
understand,
time,
and
and they're completely different.
I've overruled your
Not three
objection.
times, the more
You
than
can
three.
question her about that, and you can make any argument about that you wish at the end. Thank you.
Okay, $6,000 an alimony.
Correct.
Okay, let's talk about Low Country Drug Screening. How much is owed for Low Country Drug Screening? as of today.
I love you too, Donald. We do. We love you.
Let's see. Where are we at?
What country code screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to get to.
Not sure about where we are. Oh, did that through
It goes all the way
March.
through to what's owed.
50, like what's owed until, well, it's 150,000 total, but he's behind 5,181.67.
And so and if you're looking at this, obviously, the spreadsheet is meant to have the full number of months that he owes.
Correct.
And so you look at line 79, which is March of 2025, and that's the current outstanding balance, correct?
Correct.
All right, so $5,181.67 is owed for Low Country Trust Street.
Correct.
All right. And then we go to child support. You want to tell us where we are on child support? Let's do an owing on child support.
So I think you have to defer to because this is, because once Cole went over there, let's see. Because this one doesn't have, wait, hold on.
And you had to rush and print these this morning.
Yeah.
I got to December of 24.
Right. So when I sent it, I only did it because once Cole left, the last,
It's zero after that.
yeah, so I'm missing that last page on here, but, yeah, like once Cole left. So when I sent it to you, I just sent it over to you. I didn't finish the remainder of the year,
All right,
or
so-
for this year. Like once Cole left, once he stopped making the payments, then I just left it at that.
Okay, so as of December of 2024, he owed $35,550.84.
Correct.
Was that in child support?
That's in child support, correct? And then that would be, and then there's plus
Which sheet are you on?
the very last sheet.
And that's as of December what?
December of 24, end of December 24.
Where? I don't have December 24.
I think we're missing the last page.
I only have through 2019. That's it.
Other
I'm
hand,
missing
Fozzie.
Any pages.
Here, let me see it. Here's the same time.
Missed the sheets.
Oh, you got mine now.
For the record, I was wrong. Just so y'all know. Just so y'all know. My daughter just took the trash out. I'll give her a donut. Half of one donut. I'll let her taste one of the donuts, maybe. But she's taking a shower right now, so I might forget. Who knows?
All right. And of course, those were on the sheet that we produced before.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
But that's why I just submitted during the hearing. I took all of his bank records, everything he submitted, took my bank records, and I did the tremendous work of putting this all together so it could be reviewed and looked at. And,
Overnight.
well, I mean, since the last, whenever it was given to them. I mean, it's been several months. And so, you know.
But my question is simply, you went through every single bank statement, every single check they gave you last night to confirm.
Oh, yes, for last night, yes.
17 is correct, but for those three, well, our previous schedules were correct except for those three payments.
Correct. And by these checks and my bank records, I compared them and I found the mistakes in the spreadsheet. Now, my bank records are all correct. I gave them all the bank records. I gave them everything that I had.
All right. Move to admit 17.
Any objection?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm going to object. Again, I have to, I think,
Good night,
just like they made an
Jen.
objection and the court was entertaining their objection, I literally have been given something that's changed all my.
Okay, and it's 3 changes,
No,
correct?
it's not.
Okay.
It has changed things throughout, and in fact, it actually shows what they're tendering in the evidence, shows on one of these things, it goes through 2028, and it has a negative number of 55,187.
Overruled. I'll allow you to question her about it, Mr. Schachter.
Very well.
All right, thank you. It's admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right. You also did, my office did interest calculations on these sums, correct?
Correct.
All right. Here is the, in the 21, is that the calculations on alimony?
Correct.
Okay. And the interest on that is 2194.36, correct?
Correct.
Move to admit 21.
Any objection?
Thank you, CJ.
Yes, objection.
What's the objection?
I'm getting this right now, and we've already testified that there's no arrearage on alimony. They're testifying off a sheet that doesn't even apply.
All right.
He's made 15 payments that's shown on their own
Okay,
chart.
that's an argument. Overruled. You can make those arguments.
Low country drug screening is 19. Now, one of these is going to be incorrect because of the 3 payments. And we'll have to
Correct.
address that, and I'll supplement but this is math. This is just basically taking the statutory.
Gonna
numbers into
object
play,
to the leading.
Correct?
Correct.
All right, open-ended questions, Mr. Johnson. Allow some leeway.
All right, so this is the interest due and owing on the low country drug screen, correct?
Correct.
All right, the total amount owed is $28,253.08 with interest. And Brian, these are all in our proposed
So wait, this is the,
low country drug screening.
okay, and this amount represents what?
$28,253.08 represents the missed payments plus the interest.
Okay, because I thought it was, so what was the 5,181 for low country drug screening figure?
5,181.67 was the amount due, and then you've got a bunch of interest on top of that.
Okay, all right, and you're saying 21 represents the interest
No, that's with interest.
with interest?
That's
Total with interest, okay. All right,
And then
admitted.
20, this is the child support. Is that the child support calculations?
Correct.
All right. Move to admit 19 and 20.
Any objection to 19 and 20?
Yes, I don't have thorough backup documentation, Your Honor, on any of this.
Okay, is that a summary? I don't know what 19 and 20 are.
Judge, it is taking the arrears off of defendant 17, which you have admitted, and it is applying the statutory interest. It's math.
Okay,
Which
All right.
relies on the underlying math being correct and the entries being correct, which they are not.
okay, and you can make that argument. Overruled. 19 and 20 are admitted.
Let's bring in. Let's see. Those are all the questions I have.
All right, cross-examine, Mr. Schachter.
What was that?
Any cross-examination?
Yes.
10. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I have 10?
Ma'am, Defendant's Exhibit 22, which was our family resident messages, you indicated that you were submitting those to show how he just tries to renegotiate orders, right?
I don't know what you're referencing. I'm
It's right
sorry.
here.
I can't. Can I see it?
Was that the purpose of that?
Can you restate the question?
The messages that you submitted there, your attorney just submitted those. Those were to show how he's trying to always, regardless of what the order says, do what he wants. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, that was on the back. Now, do you still have a copy of it? Did your attorney give you one?
No, sir.
Oh, can I get the court's copy of 22 then?
I don't,
It's our family.
Whatever that word is, yes. Guys, this poor lady, I just feel so bad for her, for what's about to happen to her. And these socks are red today, or maroon, or wine. Yeah. Kelly, that's what I'm saying. Here we go. You know, the judge is going to yell, and that's fine.
Now, that first message, I don't want to go through every single one. I just want to take the one you put on top. February 3rd, 2025 at 6:55 p.m., Bradley Brigman writes to you, Parker and Cole taxes. I'm working on taxes. I was going to claim Parker and Cole for 2024 and 2025 and wanted to make sure that was okay with you before I did so. Please let me know your thoughts. Thanks. Is that what it says?
Correct.
And you're saying that he is trying to negotiate with you and taking issue with what the orders say. Is that correct? Yes or no? That's what this was meant to be.
This is already in the order. Until the order is changed, we just follow the order.
You're right. It is.
So I don't know what a good answer is to this. Yes, do what you want. No, I don't know.
Because I think you realize what's going on here.
Your Honor,
Let me ask.
let her finish the answer, Mr. Shea.
Well, her answer was that she doesn't know.
But she didn't finish
Okay,
stating.
I'll let her answer.
Based on my experience, it doesn't matter what I say.
Okay, but you said you're familiar with the order. You're aware that under the final decree, which you say is controlling, my client gets to claim Cole every single year on his taxes, right?
Yes.
So he's indicating in here that Cole, he was going to claim for 2024 and 2025, or that was his intent, because it's in the order, right?
Okay.
But Cole was with you before, right? He was living with you, primarily since the divorce, is that right?
Yes.
Now custody has been changed to Parker, who is living and has been living with him for years, right?
Correct.
And are you aware that whoever has the child living with them, that's who gets to claim the child for taxes? Yes or no?
Calls for a legal conclusion.
I'm asking her.
This
Is she
is
aware?
going to get worse.
Okay,
And it's
so given that context, if he's asking you whether or not he can go ahead and claim both children since they both live with him, and one of them, the one that lived with you, was already his to claim, you take that as an issue in him trying to create problems? He asked you a question.
Based on my experience, it's no answer is a good answer. This is years and years and years, and so I chose not to answer. Why am I required to answer every question that is sent to me in Family Wizard? Am I required to answer this?
No, you are not. Not after 10 years. Not when they're adults and 16 and 17 and 19. No, you are not. And you know what? Never mind. You are not.
Don't you think it'd be easier if he says, please let me know your thoughts, thanks, for you to respond?
Why is that my responsibility if he files his taxes and claims his honest taxes, and then I do it? Well, they have social security numbers. Wouldn't it be flagged? And then I would be audited. That would be my responsibility.
So you're saying it's better to just get audited rather than trying to work it out?
Hell yes.
It's not my decision to decide what's better for Mr. Brigman.
Yes.
That's his decision.
Not what's better for Mr. Brigman, what the court already orders with regard to Cole, correct?
Your Honor, the order speaks.
I'm asking the question.
She's already answered it, so let's move on. She already said she didn't answer. And she said why.
Ma'am, your attorney just tendered this big exhibit of broken down of payments. And you had already said alimony should already be paid up. But then you testified in response to him that alimony is $6,000 when he told you that it was $6,000, right?
So I said, I believe so. And then when I turned to the page, I looked at it and it had a deficiency.
Right.
So I corrected myself.
You
But I did the best to my ability. You gave me the checks. I spent hours and hours going through them. I spent hours and hours going through all of this information to match up what was given to me.
Right.
I wasn't given complete information. I was given duplicate information, but I'm very happy to do all of this work for y'all again as well, if given all of the complete information.
And Mr. Attorney, you've had this document, all these checks, all of these bank accounts for over 6 months. Why did you not look through them? Why did you not balance it yourself?
That's unresponsive to the answer.
Okay, let him ask the next question.
Ma'am, you just said that you agreed he had already paid the alimony. Then your attorney told you that he hadn't, so you remembered that.
Your Honor, this is
No, sir,
Hold on. Let me hear the objection. What was the
The
objection?
objection is asked and answered 3 different times.
Okay, I'll allow him to answer this one last time. Just ask the question.
Ma'am, had testified that he was already paid up on the alimony. Then your attorney asked you and said, well, there's a deficiency. And then you just said that you just agreed with him. You realized you looked at your chart and it shows a deficiency of $6,000, right?
I spoke.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, then I flipped to the page. I spoke too soon, and it was my mistake.
Right.
And when I spoke before I looked at the page,
Right.
which then conflicted my statement.
Right, it conflicted your statement, but let's.
Correct, because I spoke before I looked at the
Let's
page.
look at your actual sheet. How many
Yes,
months
sir.
of alimony was Bradley Brigman to pay you $2,000? How many? From the decree. I'll show it to you.
I don't have the decree.
So you don't know how many months, but you're marking him as deficient.
I do not have everything memorized, no.
Got it.
Oh, I'm gonna punch him. Oh, I'm gonna punch him right in his head. She doesn't have the sheet.
Okay, so you don't know how many months. Tell me, what does it say at the bottom on alimony? How many months of $2,000?
I'm
Contempt has made-
sure, I'm positive if she got up and throat punched him one time right now, it wouldn't be a big deal. Like, she would go to jail for a day, 2, 3 tops. Worth it. Absolutely freaking worth it. Yes. When we were in Texas with a judge, we went out to lunch, and there was a couple sheriffs with us at the table. And it was amazing, guys. Because we were talking about crime, right? Okay, I picked up the cup that the margarita, the margaritas were in. And it was a cactus. It was a little cactus holding up the margaritas. And I'm like, oh, this is so cute. And I think it was Victoria said, put it in your purse. And the sheriffs were like, yeah, that, has a value of blah, blah, blah. It just be a ticket. It would just be a ticket. Go for it. I mean, and they were talking about different crimes and how it's, that's just this and that's just that. Go for it. They did not cuff Fozzie. I should have had them do that, but my brain was, I sat right next to Juanita. I couldn't think. If she wasn't there, yeah, I probably would have remembered that I wanted them to arrest Fozzie a little bit. She would get a standing ovation, just right in the throat one time. Oh God, here we go. Ready, guys? I don't want him to keep going. He's so bad. Yes. All right, here we go.
The court for an award of alimony upon consideration of the evidence and the parties' relative financial condition. The court deems such. The court deems such an award to be warranted. In making this award, the court is mindful that plaintiff has been receiving temporary alimony for over 2 years. Accordingly, the court orders that defendant pay alimony to plaintiff in the sum of $2,000 per month for 12 months beginning as of the date of this order.
So how many months was he ordered to pay you alimony?
12 months
12 months.
after the 2 years.
And yet you have made a sheet here claiming how much is in arrearage when you didn't even know how many months you had to pay it for, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I want you to count on your sheet. You have the sheet in front of you?
No, sir.
Let's count it together. How many months he's paid the 2,000 of alimony? September of 18, that's 1 month, right?
Correct.
October of 2018, 2 months. November of 2018, 3 months, right?
Correct.
December 18, 4 months.
Correct.
January of 19, 5 months.
Okay.
Come on, you can reach that throat from there. You can.
February of 19, 6 months.
Correct.
March of 19, 7 months.
Correct.
April of 19, 8 months.
Correct.
May of 19, 9 months.
Well,
May of 19.
it says,
Is May of 19 not 9 months?
it is 9 months,
Okay.
but there's,
And you say that there was a payment receipt right there.
yep,
Okay. June of 19, 10 months. Is that right?
correct. Yep.
Okay. Now, let's keep going.
For the record, Judge Jackson is also very single.
July of 19, 11 months.
Correct.
August of 19, 12 months.
Correct.
September of 19, 13 months. He's already over, right?
Correct.
Okay. But yet you have marked October, November, and December also as deficient. So he overpaid 1 month, and you have counted him for 3 months that he wasn't even obligated to pay, and retestified because your attorney led you to
We'll know
that
very
there's
soon
an extra
what I'm talking
deficiency,
about,
right?
John. Don't
Correct.
worry.
Okay, Your Honor, again, I need time to go through these sheets because every single one of them.
Seems like you're doing a good job. Ask
Your
your
Honor,
next
I just
question.
had time to do.
Ask your next question.
Your Honor, at the beginning, yesterday, when we discussed.
I've already, Mr. Schechter, I don't know what you're asking for.
I
I'm
won't.
not granting a continuance. You
I'm not
just-
asking for a
you-
continuance.
Okay, then what are you asking for?
Your Honor, if we're going to be held to the standard of defending an entire contempt off brand new information, we have to have time to vet it.
Okay, you just showed.
Again, he's had the information for 6 months.
He owes no more.
Actually, that's not even true because this guy has been making these payments and everything for 10 years. And he knows what he's paid for 10 years.
Alimony. What's your next question?
And Your Honor, this one didn't change at all.
Not just the alimony,
What's
that
your
he's
next-
overpaid the alimony.
Okay, what's your next question?
Okay, I'll keep going then. We'll rip off the alimony sheets. Low country drug screening. Which 3 months, ma'am, are the ones that you missed?
I don't have the sheet in front of me, but I believe it was January 2023 and then August, September of 2022.
January of 23
I think. I don't have it
and
in front of
August
me.
and September of 22.
Oh,
Well,
love, if you misspeak,
so-
he's going to nail you.
On your sheet for low country, which is the second part of this packet, we'll keep going here. The second part of this packet, ma'am, low country drug screening, what you have given to the court. You claim that he's missing all these payments, right? Wherever it's red. Is that correct?
That is a deficiency, correct?
Right.
Because it was prorated.
Right. And so,
So he did not begin his payments when he was supposed to,
and we're relying on the information you compiled, right? On this chart.
and the bank records, and the information that you all provided me for payments
Well,
made.
clearly what you had given us up until yesterday already showed 3 missed checks that you had not counted.
Correct.
Okay. So,
No, that's not correct. Ma'am, I know you said it 7 times, 20 times already, but that was not correct. The information was in your bank statements that you gave him. The only thing that was incorrect was a little spreadsheet you made based on those bank statements. So the information, the real information, is all the bank statements.
okay. And you said August 2022 is missing?
Well, I had corrected it.
You corrected it, okay. And that was based off of what we provided yesterday that showed you right here.
Correct.
Okay. But
Yes,
ma'am,
it was reflected in my bank statement and not on the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is a guidance. I have all the bank records that I submitted to do this exact,
I got it, Michael.
to do this over the last several months.
What month are we on right now?
March
What year?
2025.
And yet for this chart, you managed to stretch it out until 2028, marking a red every single one, and compiling and submitting to the court that my client owes you for low country drug screening, per your exhibit, $57,140 through September of 2028.
That's the remaining of the
Ma'am, he's not in
$150,000.
arrears, and you've marked it as arrears every single payment.
No,
for the
she
next 4
didn't,
years.
jackass.
He skipped, so I guess it's okay if he just waits till the end to pay the whole thing, or if he can pay it once? I mean, I don't know.
This is brain surgery.
I'm confused.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, we're supposed to hold him in pre-contempt for 3 months payment?
Hold on.
It is real simple.
They tendered this, it's not simple.
Hold on. What's your objection, Mr.
So, in case you're getting confused, she has a spreadsheet broken down of exactly what he owes and when he's supposed to pay it. So, he promised to pay this 150 some thousand up until 2027, I think. So, she has a spreadsheet that goes to 2027. And anything not paid is red, and anything paid is green. So, the whole thing was red at the beginning. And now she has a lot of green, but then some reds in there because he missed some payments. But the ones that we haven't gotten to yet, the future, they're still red because he missed he hasn't paid those yet. He wasn't supposed to pay those yet. She never said he was in arrears for those. Never once.
Mr. Johnson?
She's explained already that this is meant to be all the way through the end. She's not contending that he's in arrears through all the payments. That's why we stopped at March 24th. He was listening to her direct examination.
Okay.
Mr. Schachter running around screaming and hollering about something that she's already testified to is argumentative.
Okay. So, Mr. Schachter,
Can I
she's
respond?
not contending
Can
that
I
he's
respond?
behind past the March date.
Can I respond?
What's your response?
Him contending that I'm being argumentative when I have her in cross-examination, first of all, is ridiculous.
Well, you can be argumentative just because you.
Oh my gosh, I wonder, guys, if one of those books right here explains what argumentative means. I just wonder if maybe he picked up any one of those books, he would have known that he actually can be argumentative.
Cross. But what's your objection now? He said she's not claiming the
Your
the
Honor,
money
they
that
tendered it. When Your Honor's looking back in chambers later, you can easily.
I know
look at-
what month it is, so I know that she can't contend he's behind if it's not due.
Your
So
Honor,
let's
we're
move
just
on.
operating on alimony on something that's worthless.
And you've shown that, so let's move on. And if you can show me that he doesn't owe anything on the low country drug screening payments, then fine. But
Let's take a look at each one that you say is missing here.
Guys, this is his Perry Mason moment. Leave him alone.
You produced bank records. Do they go back to 18 and 19?
Yes, sir, you have them.
Okay.
It goes back to starts at
Ripped the papers up.
2017.
He did. Right
It
there.
goes all the way through. I took the order, I took all of my bank records each month for deposits to reflect, and then I took what was provided by Mr. Brigman, and I matched them all up. And so, to the best of my ability. I mean, and again, that's why spreadsheets for reference, and then the bank records are in here. So, the checks that I was provided,
23.
this one, January and February deposited 3/1/2021. Your argument yesterday was that it was, I was depositing these checks into an undisclosed account, and so I've matched the checks with the bank statement here provided in the binder on the bank statement to show that they were not deposited into an undisclosed account. So the check written for 3/12/21 was deposited on 3/17/21, which is reflected on the bank statement that I provided.
Hold on. I don't think he's listening. Let's just
Oh.
wait for the next question.
Yes, ma'am.
I would have kept talking there too if I was her. Just show him how wrong he was.
So what you're contending, ma'am, and you actually said this a little earlier when your attorney was asking you, that there was a set-off from a 401k. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. So you're counting my client as late for certain months because you're saying he didn't pay it, but he started after the 401k set-off expired. Is that right?
Yes, there's a credit, which is shown in the spreadsheet, excuse me. We're not on the checks anymore, is that correct?
No. We're not on the checks right now.
Okay.
Ma'am, in the decree, it says specifically, it is further ordered the defendant shall receive 50% interest in plaintiff's 401k in the amount of $19,110, correct?
Correct.
Defendant may take a credit against his monthly payout obligation to plaintiff for LCDS until the $19,110 is paid in full.
Correct.
This shall be over, and it's kind of footnote 9, this shall be over a period of 15.28 months, right?
Correct.
Okay.
The spreadsheet
So
was done based on the
when you're
order.
counting him as late, he's just waiting to pay it to when that time period expired, wasn't he? There might be
Yes,
lengthier
he did.
payments, but he's not in arrears for those months for not paying you.
Correct. It's not indicated that he is in the arrears.
But ma'am, you have on your sheets right here in red, September 2018, he's in arrears 541.67. October 2018.
That's when it's supposed to start.
Wait, you're saying that's when it's supposed to start?
Hey, Michael.
Ma'am, the divorce decree is dated
Congratulations,
September
Sandra.
18, 2018. And he's entitled to a $19,110 offset, which will last 15.28 months, right?
Honor, if Mr. Schachter would simply look at the document, I think that he would see that she has given him credit for those going forward until we get to the month where he's supposed to.
How dare you? How dare you tell him to read the document? He hasn't even read one of these books. He ripped up half the document. How is he supposed to look at it? He ripped it up.
owe her money. I mean, the spreadsheet is just not that hard to figure out.
Okay, all right.
I mean-
She's already asked the question, so Mr. Schachter, if you believe that's not what's reflected, you can make that argument to me, but she's already indicated she gave him credit for that. If you don't believe it's shown on that document, make
Very
that
well.
argument to me at the end.
Okay, so, again, I have to, Your Honor, I'm looking at this for the first time, so I need to be given a little bit of a chance to look at it as I do this. Kind of doing this on the fly. It's all changed overnight.
I haven't looked at the document and I understand it.
That's not the way it works. Oh, yeah, is that right here? Is this for 2020?
This is from 2017 all the way through to current.
Take off your shoes so you can count better, honey.
Okay, so all the way up until 2020, by your calculations, my client, while he's making payments, there's a carry forward arrearage of $3,931.67 by the time we get to June of 2020. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And you marked August 2020 as a missed payment, so that went up to $5,181.67, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Again, I don't have the sheet.
And
but-
apparently, there's another payment that was made at one point that brings it back down to $3,931.67.
Correct.
Is that right?
Isn't that funny how that works, lawyer? Isn't that cool? So if he doesn't make a payment, then the amount that he's in arrears gets bigger. But then when he makes a payment, oh my God, it's like freaking magic. The amount that he owes now gets smaller.
you had the sheet. I do not have the sheet, so.
Okay, so by February of '24, let's go with January of '24, you're saying he's in arrears of only $3,931.67, right?
Correct.
Okay, and then you're saying there's another missed payment. So really, coming into today, on low country drug screening, you're saying he's in arrears $5,181.67. 2020.
Correct.
Okay, and yet you've applied how much interest on that?
I do not have that information in front of me. I don't know it off the top of my head.
You see, and then everything forward, going forward, every single month, all that bringing us up to 57,000, that's not really supposed to be in here, right?
It's just the spreadsheet that I use to enter the information into.
I understand.
So it's just because there's a total amount of 150,000, the credit is deducted, and then
So,
it goes through 2028
so let's,
for my own
I understand.
tracking purposes. That's it.
Very well. But pursuant to what we've done so far, alimony has been overpaid by $2,000, correct?
According to your records.
Well, you went through it with me, ma'am. You made 13.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct,
So
yes.
right now he's entitled to a $2,000 credit for alimony. And coming into today on local country drug screening, according to your records, if he can't find the missed payments of what he thought he made, $5,181.67
Correct.
would be his arrears on low country drug screening, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And if we were to subtract the $2,000, then we're at $3,181.67, right?
Correct.
Okay. So far, a bunch of what you have in your number that you're asking the court for, plus interest on that, are not correct numbers, right? You shouldn't be compounding interest on something that he doesn't even know, right?
Incorrect.
Or does he get to reverse the compound interest against you for keeping money?
Judge argument.
I'll withdraw the question. Okay.
This is a bad idea. I should not be pausing this video right now. I should keep it playing. I should not be talking right now. I know, guys. But this guy just triggered me because I don't know, at some point in the last 3 days, I went in my boss's office and I'm like, can we talk? And he was like, why? Okay, fine. So I shut the door, and immediately he throws his glasses on and he starts clicking around his computer. Now, no, I had asked him, are you free? Can we have a conversation? Are you busy? And he will not look at me, period. He's clicking around on his computer. He makes me stand. He's sitting, all right? And he's looking here. I'm over here. And he's writing things down and he's clicking around. And the reason why I need to talk to him is because we have a new chef in. We have a completely new menu. Just everything is changing, and that's fine. Change is good. I applaud changing. If we don't have enough customers, we need to make some changes to make sure the restaurant is running, right? So I said, listen, Dean, how often do you talk to the new chef about the changes that are going on? How often do you speak to him about these changes? He says, every day. I said, okay. I said, how often do you talk to us, the front of the house, about all of these changes going on? And he was like, huh? I said, look, we're a team. I said, you need to communicate the changes to the servers. We are finding out changes from customers half the time. I said, and some of these changes, they don't make sense and they're not going to work. And I said, if you would just talk to us, communicate with us, we can tell you, yeah, that won't work. And he's like, well, wait, what changes are you talking about? I said, well, I said, it's not about any specific changes. I said, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not here to complain about any specific changes. I'm here to tell you that we are a team and we need to communicate and we need to talk about things when we change things. And he says to me, I said, you have to talk to the servers about changes. And he says, why? He asked me. He says, why? Why would he have to talk to us about changes? And I said, because really, some of these changes won't work. What changes? I tried again to say it's not about specific changes, but if you need an example, here, let me tell you. The kitchen's told now that they are not allowed to bring silverware out until the last load, the end of the night. I said, it takes me 40 minutes to an hour to roll silverware. So the restaurant's closed, everybody else is done, and then they bring silverware out when we're all ready to go home. So it takes me another 40 minutes to roll silverware after we're done. I said, can't do that. You have to give me silver an hour and a half before we closed. I know there's some left over, but there's also some cups and some plates and things like that are left over too. You just run the silver with the rest of that, but you need to bring me, the majority of it way before we close so that I can roll it. And so the whole conversation was short, and what I got from it, I said, the servers are a tool. You have to give us what we need to work. So he didn't understand why he would have to talk to us. Now, just so you know, these people who bought this brewery never owned a restaurant before in their lives and opened a restaurant. So for the last 4.5 years, me and Jessica, the other server, has been trying our hardest to make them understand how to run a restaurant, because it's not something you can just pick up. You can't just get a key to a restaurant, open the door, and expect to understand how to run a restaurant. It's intricate. It takes skill, and you have to know a lot of things. All right. So I don't know, 3 years ago, when someone would say something in the kitchen, like, I need cheese on that burger, the chef would say, heard. All right. If the chef would call out, burgers up in 5, I would yell back, heard. It's just us telling it, I heard you. I got it. It's fine. Well, the owner really didn't like that we used the word heard. And that is in every single restaurant, probably around the world. I bet you go to a Chinese restaurant in China and they speak Chinese, and then all of a sudden you'll hear heard. Heard. So it's just a restaurant thing. It is, and it's these small things you have to learn. So we've been trying to show them that, but they don't like to listen. Probably because we're females. First off, I know that. So, and we know what we're doing. I'm not trying to sound vain or anything, but we are elite servers. We aren't just good servers. We are elite servers. So I get pissed. I even swear on my stream the next morning, which I think was yesterday. I don't remember though, right? Well, then I get into work today, and hold on, I want to get this thing out of here. I get into work today, and my nephew, it was also a server, Michael. He's like, yep, Dean came out and told me you guys had a conversation yesterday. I said, really? I said, what did he say? Michael says, well, I can't remember the exact words that he said, but he said, Cathy thinks we're team members. She doesn't help pay the bills. I don't help pay the bills? Do you know how much food and beer I sell there? When people walk into my restaurant, I already know what I already know what dish I'm gonna sell them to eat. I already know how many beers I'm gonna sell the people. They don't even know, but I know. I know exactly how to make a $20 table a $50 table. I know exactly how many orders of pork we have in that walk-in, and I know exactly how many days they're good for. And I know exactly how many I need to push so that we don't throw not one of them out. We don't throw any of that pork out because it went bad. None. When when they have anything, I sell it. So let me just show you something really, 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 really quick. I'm going to show you something. I look really bad. Hold on, don't wait. I look really bad in this. Whoops. But ooh, that's my family chat right up in there. Okay, this is Big Dog. This is them. All right. When we post something, hold on. I'm getting to that. When we post something, we get like there's 0 likes, 0 comments. 0 likes, 0 comments. He posted it. He liked it. There's me. I liked it. I think there's 76 likes on there and 11 comments, and they're almost all the same thing. The comments: Cathy's the best. She's the best. A picture of Cathy. She's the best. Cathy, where were you on Friday? They knew I wasn't there on Friday. Love Cathy. Okay, right? There's more. 5 likes. I think I don't even see any likes on there. Oh look, there's 1 like, or that was me. No likes, nothing, no interaction at all. Okay. Well, but I'm going to show you one more thing real quick before I leave. I need to go. I need photos. I passed it. I'm trying to make my point and I'm going too fast. Here's photos. No, here's photos. About a year ago, see, they post all this food, they get like 4 likes, right? About a year ago, oh my God. No, they didn't take it down. They couldn't have. Okay, there. All right, I know what I look like. It doesn't matter what I look like. About a year ago, they did this. All right? 96 likes. And look at the comments. Ready? That's me. They love her. She's always nice. Love her. Go, Cathy. Cathy, we love Cathy. Cathy, Cathy, Cathy. Yep, there she is. And it just keeps going. It keeps going. So they're like, yeah, she doesn't even help pay the bills. Bitch, I pay all the bills. Without me, you would have no income. You would not have any income. So today, when they said that I don't help pay the bills, so we sit right next to Chili's, a chain. I hate chains. I hate chains, but you know what? I love karma and things that are ironic. So today, I put in an application at Chili's. And the lawyer, the lawyer just triggered me because he just said something that my boss, anyway. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that I drank a beer, though, when I was with you, so that's fine. No, you can't get a link. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, they're going to find out. Because a lot of my family works there, and they are all overly pissed. So, oh, yeah, I will get it if I want it, but Like, I could go back to any computer job, and there's a whole bunch of other things I could do. What I really plan on doing is trying to make a living off YouTube. That's what I'm going to try to do. Maybe not court. I'm still always going to do court, but there's other things too. But yeah, it's too late now. So you know how guys fight and then they talk about it and they make up? Girls don't do that. It's too late for them. There's no, yeah, I was really happy at that job. I was really happy at that bar. But I was way underappreciated. Been there 5 years, never got a raise. 4.5. In November, it'll be 5 years. Never got one raise. Do you know how much money I made them? There's plenty of other things on their Facebook. You can see. You see how many likes they get. You see how many comments they get. None. So, I have the food truck, but the thing is, I want to show you, but it's not here. I did it wrong. I took my money. I drove to Ohio. I gave them cash. They gave me the title. They signed the title and gave it to me. Right? So now I have this food truck. I love this food truck, by the way, guys. I really do. But no one will notarize it for me. Nobody. No notary will fix it so that I can get it registered. So I can't get a plate on it. It's not registered in my name. I have insurance on it. Insurance will take my money, but no one else will. So the lady was like, just send me the title back and I'll take care of it. Did you hear what I just said? Just mail me the title back and I'll take care of it. I don't really have any other option. So I'm mailing her the title back. And she's either going to get it notarized and send it to me, or she's going to keep it, and it's her food truck. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Kelly. I have so many other plans. It doesn't matter. Okay, so if I can get the food truck running, oh my God, that would be so great. I would go to carnivals, join some of them. But if I don't, I have other plans. I have other things. It's fine. But yeah, working for someone else is not what I want to do, because they're all idiots. No one listens to me. Right? So the next thing I want to do, I sort of don't want to work for someone else. I can. At the drop of a dime, I can get a job. I really, really can. So, I don't know. We'll see. We will see. I'm sorry. Now, we have 7 minutes left in this video, and I just ruined it by stopping. I can't help myself sometimes. This is why I keep losing subscribers. But, yeah, no.
Okay, child support. Now, if I'm looking at your child support worksheets, in 2018, you say he was in arrears $5,430.96.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
According to you, in 2019, he's in arrears. Is that including or is that another? Meaning, is it $8,857.28 for 2019, or is it $8,857.28 including? Huh?
I believe it's per year, but I don't have to look at the sheet.
Well, here, I'll show it to you. It's your sheet. I need to understand what you're saying here. So, is it the end of the year? 2019 including 2018?
I broke it down by year.
Okay. Now, let me ask you, each time that you've gone in here, you do concede that he has paid you $2,100 each time that he was paying it for the first couple of years, right? 2 times a month he's paying you $2,100. Is that correct?
Correct.
on this chart, have you gone and credited him every time he overpaid you for each payment and credited that as an offset?
I enter the amount and it automatically calculates and offsets. So, I mean, if he paid $10,000, I would enter 10,000, it would deduct 10,000.
I'm just asking if. $2020, you say he misses his, no, let's being sure here. Looking for it first time here.
He's trying, guys. He had his Perry Mason moment, and now he's done. He's breathing very hard.
Okay. Now, now, 2023, I understand how you're operating under the order, but 2023, you do concede that my client was paying child support for 2023, not the ordered amount per the final order, but that he was paying a lower amount of $2,100 a month from January 2023, so right after the custody decree, up until, what, July of 24?
Correct. The amount he's paid is entered in on the sheets. He chose the amount, he paid it, I entered it, and that was it. I never.
What I'm asking you is, did he pay you $2,100 every single month for that month after?
I don't know. I'd have to look at the sheet to see if he paid every single month.
But if your sheets show that just about every month he paid $2,100, and even if he didn't pay 1 or 2 or 3 months, you're saying that that's accurate, right?
Correct.
Okay. So if the court were to decide that child support to 2019 should have been an obligation from you that would offset, then I'm not saying you're agreeing to that. I'm just saying you understand that the $2,100 he may have possibly overpaid. Assuming what I'm saying is possible.
Yes,
I don't know.
So this is theoretical?
It sounds like
It is theoretical.
It sounds A, speculative, and 2, asking for a legal conclusion.
I'm not asking for a legal-
Is what the
Hold on.
court's.
I'm going to sustain it, Mr. Schechter. If that's an argument you want to make to me, you can make it to me. It's not for her to answer that.
Very well. Okay. So I'm trying to understand here, through December of 2022,
He's trying to
what you
understand,
say my
guys.
client's arrearages on child support. 2022, I'm very unclear as to what it is based on your notes. Through December 2022, you can tell me what the amount is.
By the end of December 2022, $4,650.84.
That's the total amount that you.
That's what is here on the sheet indicated, yes.
$4,650.84. Is that correct?
That's what the sheet says.
Okay. And if it turns out that he did not owe you the full amount of child support going forward, I mean, we can both, you're not going to disagree with me that starting in July 2024, he's no longer paying you child support, right?
I believe I'm sorry, but what are you asking me?
After
That he
July.
has not, you're asking me that if he has not paid after July, is that what the answer or the question is?
Sorry, August. His last payment to you was August of 2024, $2,100, correct?
That was the last payment received for child support from Brad. Is that what you're asking me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, very well. So, let's see. I don't know, what time are we going to? Because if we need to take a break, I need to.
Yeah, I'm taking a break.
Okay. When does the court want to stop?
How much more cross-exam do you
I
have?
don't know, I'm trying to figure out this job.
All right, let's recess for lunch then. All right, we'll be back here at 1:15. Thank you for adjourn. Recess.
Okay.
Okay. We're almost at the end. I think the most we have left is like an hour and 20 minutes left of the trial. I think that's a good guesstimate. I didn't watch it yet because I have to get it ready for tomorrow. So tomorrow we get to the end of this attorney. Now remember, we're focused on the attorney, guys. The parents, whatever happens to them happens to them. It's been going on for 10 years. This isn't like a final hearing of anything. There's more contempt. There's more hearings in the future. We're going to get answers for a little bit. But it's the attorney we're focused on for this. And I'm sorry you had to go through that today. I had to go through it twice. And I didn't know what... I didn't want to. I didn't want to. Thought process? Yeah, I don't even know if there was a thought process at all. He needs to read a freaking book to have a thought process. He didn't know he was supposed to rest. I rest my case. So, I didn't set up OJ yet. I'm going to do that right now. Fozzie, bite me. Bite my ass. I just put out a video, and then I just did a 2-hour and 17-minute stream. Now I'm about to do another 1-hour stream. And I didn't sleep yet. So, I can't. Listen, you guys have no idea how excited I am for today. There's a trial starting in Harris County, Texas. Not with Judge Fleischer. I'm sorry. I know you guys want to see a trial with Judge Fleischer, but it's not with Judge Fleischer. It's with another judge whose first name is Cathy, and she's great. And I don't know what's going to happen at this trial. I don't know if it's going to be entertaining or boring. But I'm telling you right now, we're watching it. Because this lawyer, this judge is great, and I love her. So, I'm in the middle of a trial, Fozzie. I can't just stop playing the trial because you want me to put out 3 videos. We're watching a trial right now. Haven't you been with us the last 3 days? We are watching a trial. Guess what? Tomorrow's stream is going to be 2 hours because we're watching the trial tomorrow. We're going to get to the end of the trial tomorrow. Oh, it's possible. It's absolutely possible that we are. No, absolutely not. I'm working. All right. Listen. Did you not just hear me talk about my bosses? Do you really want to go here right now in front of everybody? Is this what you want to do? You have time to turn the boat around real quick.
No.
All right.
I want you.
I don't care.
Really?
Try again.
I can't even.
Start that sentence all over again.
Okay, bye.
Bye. He started a sentence with, I want you to. I just told him everything I got done doing, and he says, I want you to. He should have said, I'll help you. What can I do to help? What should I do to help you? Or, you know what, you should fall asleep. If he would have told me I need to go to bed right now, I'd be like, screw you, I ain't going to bed. But it says he says I have to work. Oh man, I'm too tired. I gotta go to bed. Thanks, Kelly. So I'm gonna set up OJ right now. We're gonna watch OJ, but I'm not. I mean, I'm stopping before 8 o'clock because I can't wait to get A, this trial, and B, Juanita Jackson, guys. We are going to get some Juanita Jackson today. We are going to get some Cathy today. I think it's Cathy Thomas. I'm 98% sure it's Judge Cathy Thomas. All right. Yeah, go find me some content that no one else sees. Shows. Go go find me some new judges. It's easy though, Fozzie. It's it's so easy. I should be able to do 3 more videos a day because, of content no one else finds. Okay. Do you see what I'm talking about? That's how it is at my job. I do things that no other servers do, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, well, you can do this." But, bitch, you're gonna find out. You're gonna find out. All right, I have to get the OJ trial set up. I spoke way too much during this video, and I ruined this whole trial. I've tried so hard not to talk. What is LWU? What is that? I am too tired. I hit a wall halfway through this stream. I started this stream fine, and then all of a sudden, bam, I walked right into a wall. Oh, you can restream other streamers as long as you credit them. Victoria! Get him! Get him, Victoria! Get him! Buy another Smith. Thank you, another Smith. Guys, Victoria put her hair up while I was with her. Yeah, yeah, she did. And I called her while we were sitting across the table, and with a whole bunch of people, and I whispered how much her hair looked so cute up like that. And then Judge Juanita Jackson saw it. She's like, "Did you just call her?" I said, yes, I did. Victoria was so funny at lunch because we had a whole big table of people. It was a big party. The waiter comes over and he's like, "Is this one check or separate?" And Victoria's like, "Separate." He says, "What?" "Separate checks." And then that poor waiter goes and separates all the checks, right? Then the checks come back. And poor Dale, Victoria, she takes the checks from the server and she's like, "Here, Dale, take that one. You pay that one. You pay that one." And then a bunch of people at the other end, they were like, "Okay, I'll pay this one, this one, this one, this one." So then we give these, Fozzie paid for mine. He took my check out of my hands. He ripped it out of my hands. I got 3 paper cuts. I had to get stitches. And then they all give these checks back to the poor server. And they're like, "Okay, can you put these back together, and these back together, and these back together," right? Well, the server took an extraordinary long time to try to mush these checks back together that he just finished separating. And everybody was getting mad that the server was taking so long. And I'm like, "Guys, you just made him separate these checks. Now you're making him put them back together, and he's not going fast enough." You just called me when you could, but you just did that anyway. Victoria, I hope you have the best day at work. We are all going to be watching. You know that no matter what happens in Harris County, you are our favorite courtroom. Nan, I hope you have a great day. I hope there's no pain. Well, first off, the credit card company doesn't let you do that. Sometimes they do, and then other times they mark it as fraud, and then they won't let you run that card again, and you're going to have to give her another card. Did you really? I didn't notice that. Fozzie, you should go to bed. I think you need to go to sleep. I used to work at a printing press, and paper is very sharp. It just is. Man. All right, I have to stop. I have to get OJ going. They're going to be really mad if I don't do an hour, and I already can't do an hour. So, hi, Kara. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for coming out. I really, really, really appreciate it. I'm not looking at chat because I have to stop. I have to hard stop now. I will see you guys again very, very soon. I'm doing OJ, so I'll see some of you there. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Cathy's life echoes digital dreams. Through the screen, her blue eyes gleam. Wicked humor, sharp as a knife. Her stream sparks electric light. Late night when the world sleeps, she's the friend that always keeps. Giggles roll like thunder loud. She stands out in any crowd. Cathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Freedom tales waiting to the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Her eyes near a sky so blue. In her jokes, there's a truth so true. With each string, she brings the light. Turns dark days into bright. Cathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Streaming tales late into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Cathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no